Tiger comes out and Dylan starts panicking and freaking out. I'm like, could you imagine if a white man...
This guy fucking watches videos with his girlfriend every night on the internet. Like he's overseas.
Done a bunch of ridiculous things, like the Price is Right video, running around and rolling around on the ground.
He lives in fucking Michigan. This bitch lives in Canada, supposedly.
For real.
I don't even know if they're telling the truth half the time.
You look at these videos that Dylan's produced. Come on, let's be real. Dylan singing about having a
I think Butthole
is just to insult trans people.
and Tree are gonna forever live on the internet because that's the only way they're gonna function. If they actually got together, they're gonna fucking hate each other.
Whenever Tim says, we're gonna say the opposite, and that's what ends up happening. Dylan Mulvaney comes out, puts on this performance that's insulting and demeaning to women and trans people. We criticize Dylan for doing it, so they defend him.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't make the same distinction that you guys do. I view all of this the same way, but I'm curious about how the transgender community or people who identify as transgender have responded to Dylan prior to the public backlash.
Well, look, there are prominent personalities who are trans who speak out against these people.
Yeah.
And there is, among transgender people, there's a left and a right as well. So I don't think you can hit it all with one broad brushstroke. You know what I mean? Dylan Mulvaney clearly is a unique character that is putting on a performance and has even said this. Dylan Mulvaney did not come out and say they weren't trans, but did say they wanted to move beyond being identified as a trans person. Something to that effect.
For sure, no, I don't disagree with you guys at all that Dylan is a particularly obnoxious example, and I don't disagree that people who identify as trans have a wide variety of political views. Where I'm saying I don't draw the distinction is I think all of it's insulting to women. I think all of it is a caricature of womanhood.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying that Dylan's insulting trans people on top of it. Like you can take a look at many. I'll shout out Blair White and I'll shout out ContraPoints. I guess Blair is considered conservative. I don't know where Blair stands, and ContraPoints is considered liberal. They're both serious people. You can just
oh my God! It fire NATO'd me.
And then sings about having just demeans and insults trans people. It's Borat.
So that makes me think that maybe, Gene, you were onto something, that if companies were to go with utilizing transgenderism as a marketing tactic, but not going for the campy, clownish people as their...
Life is expensive. Quality tools don't have to be. Harbor Freight, America's #1 tool store.
Spokespeople, and they actually find like genuinely, trans people that are like, maybe they've been suffering or whatever, and they want to elevate that community somehow. I could see that actually not be destroying a company, maybe actually helping.
I mean, I just go back to the RuPaul. RuPaul has a
Fire
show
NATO.
on what, E or whatever, and had a show for decades. RuPaul's Drag Race show and all these different things. And so you have these examples of this stuff happening where you have a base that is conditioned and acculturated to this lifestyle and to this stuff, which with none of it I agree with, to be clear. Quite the opposite. But when you take a brand like Bud Light, or you take something like anything, I mean, take a Ford Mustang. If Ford decided we're going to advertise a new Mustang with Dylan Mulvaney.
Didn't they?
Did Ford do an advertisement with Dylan Mulvaney?
No, they did. They did a Pride Rain. Who did the Pride Rainbow truck? Yeah,
okay, so somebody did do, I think someone might have done a rainbow truck, but also, to be clear, there's something about the rainbow that puts a layer of abstraction over it. I don't think there was an actual picture of somebody like Dylan Mulvaney associated with it.
Yeah, in 2022.
There you go.
Ford did it.
Wow.
Well, let's jump into we got an update too. Check this out. This is from the New York Post. Bud Light sales reach new low following Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. Sales of Bud Light suffered their steepest weekly drop. I want to stress this all for you. Please listen. It has been 3 months. 3 months later, and the worst week so far. 28.5% drop. It's getting worse. Yo, it's supposed to be easing up 3 months on. I think this is brand death. I think, the way I described it earlier is that maybe this is where we wrap a nice little bow around the Bud Light story. Dylan Mulvaney destroyed Anheuser-Busch.
That's wild.
Hey, look, the company exists. They'll make money, and I'm not saying that they just disappear off the face of the earth. But I wonder if we might see a cascade effect that I talked about before. 3 months on, and sales are still getting worse. That's crazy. And now they're talking about, so they're doing another free beer giveaway. They had Memorial Day. Now with the 4th of July coming up, Bud Light is giving away their beer for free. Now that's get woke, go broke, man.
Right.
Thank you for looking Darth.
No, I think that's very accurate. And this entire
Yeah, I gotta
Pride
send my
Month
jacket to the
seems
post
have been a
office for the
complete
return.
disaster for the left, which I've very much enjoyed. Part of
You
why I
reminded
think
me, I
this
gotta
was such
go
a
tomorrow in the
massive
morning.
and strategic error for Bud Light is because
there's a
not
post
only were they
office
not selling a particularly
work.
impressive product, people aren't buying Bud Light out of a sense of brand loyalty. People aren't buying Bud Light because it's the best of the best. People are buying Bud Light because it's inexpensive and it's what they have access
I
to.
work
But
7:30
they also
to
have
like
access to many other
3:15
beer
tomorrow.
brands. Nobody who's
Hey,
drinking
just
Bud Light is picking
gotta
up the
clean
beer
the
they're
house a
drinking,
little
right?
bit.
They could have a product that's not from Anheuser-Busch and enjoy
I
it
probably
just as
gotta
much,
run to
if
the
not
grocery
more.
store and get
So
some
what they
juice.
did is they tried to force something incredibly controversial onto people with a brand that those people didn't need and had very easily
Yeah, I gotta
accessible
get up at
alternatives to.
4.
Yeah, 30 or 40 years ago, beer was like, you didn't have that many choices. Right? There were a lot of it was centralized. Then all of a sudden, microbrews got super popular, and now you've got like 6,000 different choices you can stock your bar with. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you ever go for trash like Bud Light?
Take a look at this from the USA Today.
It's bland. I
Bud Light offers $15 beer rebates for 4th of July weekend amid boycott declining sales. I chose as neutral of a source as I can. They mention that 15 packs of the beer sell for less than $15. It's not that they're practically free, they're giving you money.
Retard.
They mention
Gay
that
gamer,
some of these
fucking
15
divorcee,
packs are
fucking
$12.99
heart attack
in this
victim.
article, and that you get
Fat
a
beaner
$15
bitch.
rebate. Ladies and
Dumb
gentlemen,
nerd.
this is a beer
Fucking
company that's giving away its beer for
codependent,
free.
fucking idiot,
when I see
fucking
that-
lamer,
I'm looking at
fucking
their stock,
fag,
look at
mama's
this.
boy.
Anheuser-Busch InBev in the past 6 months is
Fag
down
mama's
5.72%.
boy's boyfriend.
In the past month, they've actually recovered 3.8%. Yo,
Fucking
the market, often illogical. A beer company that doesn't sell beer,
weird,
that gives it away
squeaky
for free.
voice, fucking
That's
wannabe,
something
fucking
people apparently
crab
have decided
faggot.
They should invest in.
Well, so this is something. Maybe
Some
people are
drunk
just
fucking
trying to buy the dip. They
vodka
think it's gonna get
beaner
better. I can't
motherfucker.
imagine anything else explaining that. But I think that there's something very massive and catastrophic about this, and I mean catastrophic for them. Everyone's been saying this is the best
Vodka
example of a
beaner.
conservative
Vodka
boycott
beaner.
I've ever seen. This is one of the best examples of a boycott in general I've ever seen. When was the last time you saw a brand that was so heavily boycotted they started giving their product away for free? I've never seen that happen before. Can you guys think of any examples?
No.
Of a business that was losing customers at such a rate that they started giving their product away for free and people still weren't taking it? I've never seen that happen before.
Hey, look, their stock has rebounded a couple points in the past week or so. So
That could be an example of the people that sold. So I'm looking in May, it dropped 20%. They went from like $68 to 52 or something like that. And what happened was a bunch of people probably sold. Then the rest of the world was like, uh-oh, and then they sold. It dropped so low. Then those original people that sold bought back. So, so they made some money, and they still have the same amount of stock. But then it dropped again. Obviously people don't want the stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I think maybe some people are trying to buy the dip because they're thinking this can't go on much longer.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
retail investors.
My
It's
guess.
probably firms, and they're doing an analysis, and they're like, okay, we've seen it stabilize. It's been 3 months. We'll buy now and see what happens.
People will get over it eventually. Our stock price will go back up. I don't know that they will. I hope they don't. I think they've really done a number on themselves,
Listen,
man.
the sales decline at 28.5% is with them offering these crazy rebates.
Right.
Now they're offering free beer. They're like, buy our beer. It's $12.99 for a 15-pack. You get a $15 rebate. They call it practically free. I'm like, yo, they're giving you money.
They're like
Okay,
they're
no, to be
giving
fair,
you
it's
money.
up to $15. I think they're covering the cost. It is just free. So they're giving their beer away for free. They're trying to stem the bleed.
I'm
If
just
they don't do this,
talking around.
it
Don't
would be
worry
down
about it.
50%. So they're hoping that they're doing this because they know 4th of July weekend, their sales are going to be in the gutter. They've got to do something to keep the number up so that after next week, we can see an improvement.
Well, yeah, and I'll also say I think that bad 4th of July numbers are going to be particularly abysmal. That is really going to hurt their market value if they don't see any kind of bump for the holiday.
Well, that's true. But I think the other point here is that even with free beer, 4th of July weekend. If any of y'all are going to barbecues this weekend, who of you will be caught holding
No.
a Bud Light?
Trump, I will make fun of anyone who has it. I will make fun of anyone who has it at a
How
barbecue.
about this? Shelby Talcott tweets MAGA Mimosa, the featured drink at the NH Federation of Republican Women Lilac Luncheon, where Trump is scheduled to speak shortly. And there's Bud Light, Budweiser, and I think is Stella an Anheuser brand?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but they got Bud Light right there.
Wouldn't it be hysterical if Trump just started trashing Bud Light while he was there? He's like, I heard some people are saying there was some Bud Light here. Like, I don't like Bud Light. I don't quite frankly.
Look,
That would be the nail in the coffin.
we went
Took
to
a
an
while
event
to
in West
turn.
Virginia.
All of a sudden,
And they had a drink,
Mr.
you know, mini bar set up.
Quandale Dingle's
No
little
Bud Light.
brother, Mr.
And I walked up and
Barry.
the guy opened the fridge and I could see Bud Light in the fridge. And I was like, oh, I see you got Bud Light down there. He's like, yeah, we don't have it out though because it's like they had the stock. If someone asks what was out to them, but nobody's going to buy it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So all the Anheuser-Busch products were pulled. When we did our event in Texas, we actually told the bar no Anheuser-Busch products. They can't even do that at this Republican event.
Here's a question. Here's a tough one for all of you. Trump is guaranteed to win in 2024, but you have to drink a Bud
They
Light.
got a
Okay,
low
don't do it.
rider.
You throw that Bud Light back. You let people take a picture of you holding a Bud
got
Light
a
Tim
light.
Pool.
If it meant
Sprinkle
Trump was
it everywhere.
guaranteed to win,
Here's the
Yes.
thing. No, I don't think you would. Because he wouldn't pardon you for it. He'd be like, Tim Trump,
right,
man.
it means it guaranteed Donald Trump the election.
Yeah, Stella is AB and Bev.
Look at that.
Stella, that's him.
I like
Actually,
that.
Tim, I couldn't let you talk.
Said Tim, you know, there have been people who have been willing to sacrifice everything to save everyone.
Oh, man. If someone wants to install updates, I said no for like a month.
What happened? Guys!
Why? Yo, do a weed, drop a
Tree, let's watch
drop a berry
Twister.
dingle. Do you not smoke weed anymore, dude? Stop smoking weed? Damn. That's wild, bro. My man doesn't smoke weed anymore.
Smoke. I smoke weed.
What?
I smoke weed.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I smoke it.
Prove it. Yo, you gotta hold. Oh, I was gonna smoke with you. Oh, cheers. Actually, I'm a pen in my hand. Cheers. Okay, maybe you smoke weed, dude. I don't know. Maybe.
What are you watching?
Firenado. It's about a tornado made of fire that hasn't really even
Done
done
it.
much. It's mostly been about these guys robbing someone, I guess. It turned into like a heist movie.
Get money. We gonna get money. Dope boy fresh. It's a dun dun something. Yeah, yeah.
Why does this guy think he's Jason Statham now all of a sudden in this movie, dude? What's happening?
Because they couldn't afford the real Jason Statham. Hey, that light up inside van bus. I fucking drove from. I drove in one of those in India.
Oh
Yeah, and the guy brought like 40s of beer and. Oh, like, what the fuck? And there was a bed in the bed. That's scary. Look at it. Oh my god. Zombie?
We're headed to a safe place, by the sea. It's northeast. I'll send you the location now, yeah? Just make sure you're not tailed, okay?
Yeah. Okay, northeast. I got it. Northeast. So wait.
Dude, what the fuck is this?
Wait, get out of the way, asshole!
What is going on? Are they what? Are they like tripping?
I don't know.
Is the tornado even real? Or are they just tripping in a van in the desert?
Wait, the tornado had that rainbow shit. You think it's from that?
Yeah, I think. Oh, maybe.
What movie is this?
I don't even think the tornado's real. I think they're tripping. I think they've always been tripping.
Oh man.
That's why everybody's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh yeah!
Yo.
Oh, it's the Firenado.
What you watching, bro?
Firenado, dude.
Firenado?
Yeah.
Is that part of the Sharknado series?
It's even better.
God, look at it.
Is it in the same universe?
Yo, they're smoking blunts, dude.
I want to know that actress's name. That's what I want to know.
They're getting high off Firenado smoke, dude.
What?
On the upside,
Yo, I got my shit charged up, right? Hit up Blinker. Hit up Blinker, I got my shit charged up.
Yo, cheers.
I've got the controller.
Cheers, dude.
you know, Blake.
Dude, I hit that thing until I exploded.
What'd you knock over, bro?
I don't know. I hit that pen until I exploded, though. I didn't knock anything over.
I heard something fall over and
That was just me banging my desk.
Oh.
That was the actress with the front bang. Well, guess what? My older sister cut her front bang. My brother changed her picture on his Netflix to that like as just be right back with the studio.
But the car got me feeling the same.
Realized now she's from Fire Nation.
Football. Fix the movie. Never mind, I hit the remote.
It was a moment of weakness. They came to me with the offer.
Yo, what's good going? We're watching Fire Native. Movie night.
Yeah, how crazy is this? It's a linear magnet motor. Oh, you can't see it. But it's this big industrial motor running off of magnets. It's really cool. Yeah, we're watching Fire NATO.
You know what platform it's on?
This movie? Oh god, I don't know. You don't want to watch it. It's on. I bootleg stuff. I'm a pirate, dude.
True that. Oh yeah. I was on eTorrent back in the day. Like Pirate Bay. But it's a new movie?
Oh yeah. It's really bad, dude. It's like a beef, like it's like worse than Sharknado.
Or Cocaine Bear?
Yeah. Oh, that's actually like a real movie. This is like actually.
I know it. I just watched that Cocaine Bear.
That movie was pretty bad, though, in my opinion.
It had tendencies, but like it was still really good.
Well, okay. Are you watching it?
No. But what's it called again for research purposes?
Fire NATO.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of Sharknado, just Fire.
Is it part of a series?
It might be the first.
Okay. Right. Yeah, because I know that whole series is like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think it's part of the Sharknado series. It might be. To be honest, it might be, dude.
It's like Tremors. Yo, the next movie is gonna be Shark Fire NATO. No way.
By the way. Nice to meet you.
So, not bad for a first date, huh?
Yeah, gunfights, outrunning tornadoes. You could have better for 6, yeah. Every day after you.
It's complicated.
Yeah, you bet. You were looking for something?
Money.
What, you got a bank vault under your house?
Funny you should say that. It's not too far off. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Anna. I'm in some deep shit with some bad people. And, I'm an accountant with a very select clientele, let's say. And, I'm holding on to some of the money.
So not big old damage you get.
As far as legal. For years now that I've done a few jobs for them. I'm on the phone. And, can't get out. I just don't know what to do. Anyway, look, enough about me. Tell me about yourself.
It's being marketed to children by simply saying, oh, you have to be 18 or up. Well, this stuff is in schools. It's being shown to children. Amazon's selling it to children as young as 14 years old. There was a teacher who was showing it to 10-year-olds. And the idea that you would give somebody a guide on how to use these hookup apps is if it's rocket science and you need a guide to know how to log in. You're clearly directing these kids to do this. Like, you're clearly directing them to do this. So sick. So sick.
the main point was,
An internship.
Amazon says, deals.
He's pretty renowned.
What do you think would happen if you went to a playground
Black sheep.
with a bunch of people and started teaching them how to use Grindr?
Jail.
You'd be arrested.
Right
But they're,
God.
when it comes to what they're doing in schools, it's all protected. And then when we ask a simple question to a leftist who comes on this show, comes on the Culture War podcast, how hard is it for them to just be like, get it, those books shouldn't be in school?
Totally.
Instead they say, I don't believe in censorship, so allow it. And I'm like,
Yeah, no, but if you wanted to have a Bible in a school library, right? It's so funny how two-faced they are. It's clear that they're not interested in either free speech or combating censorship because none of them were saying that schools not being able to teach creationism meant that Christians didn't have free speech. All the arguments they're making for this is nonsense. Are arguments that they obviously didn't make in favor of people teaching their children their values about the Christian faith. They weren't saying, well, you know, when kids get old enough, they're going to learn about Christianity anyway, so we should tell them about it now. Like, that's kept as far away from public schools as possible. But guidebooks that teach children how to eat feces and use gay hookup apps are not kept away from schools for some reason. And when someone tries to keep it away from schools, we call them a tyrant. That's where our culture's at right now.
parents called the police on a teacher who showed this to their
Brock.
Why you always watching these fucking shitty ass movies, bro?
This is why Target's getting stock dropped. This is why Bud Light's suffering. Because these companies, they're just marching you on like, don't know, don't care, we're just gonna do whatever we're told to do.
Nothing
And
better to
parents
do.
are saying,
Good.
no, we
They should be out fucking hookers.
The fire NATO's.
Tree's so rich and I'm well off, then why is he fucking around with this
like,
station
leave the
watching?
kids alone, and they went nuts. And I guess what the sentiment was,
Will the fire NATO get there? Let's find out.
He's getting married. That'll help everything.
Let's find
So I'm
out.
running with the flare.
now there's a backlash.
Oh.
This could be the Democrats'
No,
biggest
no,
weakness.
that's
Fire NATO's coming.
that's foreshadowing for the fire NATO. It's like, oh, that might be the fire NATO. Oh, no,
That
it's
is
not.
the
That's
fire
the
NATO.
fire
Yeah,
NATO.
that was the fire NATO.
Because taxes are like a boring thing.
Dude, the special effects, like they literally got someone to run down the street with the flares. Yo, why?
Targeting children. This has got people riled up like crazy.
That person was going,
And
like, did you hear it, dude?
No, I did it
family should be doing.
Yo.
It's impossible to do within the guidelines of the law. Also, as a lawyer, I mean, who can be sued? Who can charges be pressed against for these kinds of things?
Look, I mean, there's a lot of
Ew,
parents
really?
stepping up
Really?
across the country who are saying no more and doing things like, I mean, look, you're a parent and you have
Fire
you teach
NATO?
your kids explicit material. You should, I think.
Have you ever been attacked by a fire NATO?
My insurance actually covers fire NATOs.
I never fire NATO.
Oh, it does.
Materials are removed from the libraries. And just simple stuff, showing them, going to school, or showing them talking to your teachers, talking to your principals. Because, ultimately, we are in that place, I think, as a culture, as a country, where it is as societal inflection. Whereas, which direction do we go? Do we tolerate more of this? Because that's what we're going to get if we don't stop it, right? Or do we say, no, enough is enough? And so a lot of folks are
Why the fuck are we
using courts of public opinion to advance the law, trying to defend not let's say even conservative values, and they are conservative values, just traditional American values.
Because it's one of the downsides of being a pirate in school, okay?
It's disgusting. It has to be at least in a school.
Snopes highlighted a chapter, section from the book. I want to find it in the notes. So maybe in the notes. There's a how to argue with Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, so Ian and I were going back and forth between the show. He was like reading the supposed, like, these objections to the Bible, and they were all very weak. They're all very bad. And also objections to Islamic teaching on it.
The book instructs young kids, I'm going to say kids because it's so ridiculous. The book instructs kids how to argue against religion, Christianity, Islam. I want to talk about gay sex. So right at the beginning of the chapter that talks about sex, it says, this chapter is about sex, therefore it has sex in it. Well done. If you're a younger reader and you feel you aren't ready for the finer details of same-sex pairings, then simply skip this whole chapter. However, before you do, I'd like to remind you that we taught years old during 6th grade. The fact they didn't also teach you what same-sex couples do is nothing less than institutionalized homophobia. Straight sex was presented as the norm to make 5% of the population feel happy. Is there something icky about gay sex? Is there something wrong with it? I challenge any politician to discuss this with me at Oprah. This chapter is simply all the stuff teachers should be saying if they want to be inclusive of people with same-sex feelings. Two things I want to point out. The first sentence, the first couple of sentences in the introduction is, if you feel you aren't ready, skip this. If that says, however, before you do, remind you, meaning, if you're not ready, consider why you should read it anyway. That's kind of insane, but more important, when we teach sex ed in schools, we are not explaining to children how to use bondage gear. We're not teaching children about sex clubs or apps. Sex education is about reproduction.
I'm that guy.
Maybe I'm wrong. If it's happening, it should be. But what I understand about sex ed is it's like, here are the reproductive organs. Here's how they work. Thank you, students. Here's the test. Or if they even have one. This book is
Why on earth did you just let it sink to the bottom of the ocean?
there's other parts in there that I can't even begin to describe. I know I want to full-on sex discussion on this, but this is not sex ed. That is fetish education. Yeah,
Exactly, it's perversity education.
and they're trying to justify it like we taught kids about general reproduction, therefore we should teach them about eating feces. Like what?
Destroy themselves and erase all of our research so no one else can recreate.
And also, I think this is something people fail to realize. There's a conversation I very distinctly remember having in high school. Another student said to me, we were in our sex ed class, and they were being completely unironic. They said, how do you think people figured this stuff out before they had sex ed? They said, take a class to know how to have sex. The purpose of sex ed is to tell you what not to do, right? You're going to get older, you're going to become an adult, you're going to start engaging in these activities. What's important is that when you were young, you were developing, your parents ideally had a conversation with you about what the boundaries are and the things that you shouldn't be doing. Because you're going to figure out what you can do.
I don't think it goes there. I think it's sex ed when I was a kid was like, here is a diagram of male reproductive organs.
What I say not to do, I'm not saying like giving people details of these kinds of things and saying don't do that, kids. I mean just telling them this is sex, this is what it does, it makes people, and it's something you should do with your spouse and not someone before you meet your spouse. That's what I mean by what you should not do. Who's there to place a restriction to let people know these are the things that are going to make your life more difficult if you do them. Ideally, you're going to wait until you're married, you're going to get married, you're going to have a family.
Why do you think
We had a super chat earlier. Someone said that they were out of booze for the rest of the week.
It makes the bad
Not
guy
saying
like
too specific,
stylish.
Yeah.
because they otherwise would have to drink these two words.
Oh, I know what words. Can I say them? Definitely
You,
seal.
you can say, because if I say it, they have to drink what it is. Okay.
And just point to me whatever you want.
Say more. So we have this tweet from Rick Scott. He said, I'm warning socialists and communists not to travel to Florida. They are not welcome in the Sunshine State. So I'm going to play the clip for you.
Scott, let me give you a travel ban if you're a socialist, communist, so you believe in government. I would think twice. Think twice. If you think about taking a vacation, the freezing Florida, we actually don't believe in socialism. We actually know people. Something worse.
She farted.
It's not good. It's not good for anybody. So if you're thinking about it, if you think about traveling to Florida, you're a socialist or communist, think twice. Free life, freedom, liberty, capitalism, things like that.
Say it.
Civil War.
I am kidding, by the way.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were tweeting about it and tweeting at me. Yeah, they're freaking out. By the way, you can walk around freely and stuff like that. Do you think, like, if Gavin Newsom...
Is this a thing? What's going on here? You can't just work now. It's a thing. Oh my lord, thank you for fucking up all the time.
My view is like, that doesn't apply to anyone. It's just a term that means bad guy. So it's like, okay, whatever. But when he said socialist values aren't welcome, leftists legitimately got mad. They were like, how dare you? Why not? Yeah, why can't
have to buy that shirt.
Turn the fuck on, bitch boy. What the fuck are you doing?
Fracturing of the states is going as planned or something like that. I should actually pull that up. Try and find it. But yeah, I mean, I don't take it seriously, to be completely honest. But I do think that when you look at the election in Florida, when you look at, he said, here's what else, our nation's growing ideological self-segregation is proceeding nicely. Actually, it's a really good point. It is. People leaving California who are more conservative leaning, going to support people leaving New York for the same reason. Where does the self-segregation lead to? I just love that he says he's supporting potentially I'm warning you. You're not welcome. A decentralized federation of state authority. I mean, I think that's kind of where it's supposed to lead. That's where we came from. And then what happens when you have? It's one thing when California's a sanctuary state, and they let illegal immigrants, criminal immigrants, enter their state. But then, these people who enter can now easily access any other part of the country. So what happens when you're Arizona dealing with a border crisis? And then California keeps their border open, lets people come in illegally, and then, very easily, they cross into Arizona. Okay, if this hyperpolarization keeps happening, Arizona sets up a border. They set up a checkpoint. And they say, we have way too many people coming in from California that we don't have for citizens, so we're going to do a border checkpoint, and now you got to show your ID if you want to get through. It's reasonable. It's a big inconvenience for 99.9% of the people going from California to Arizona, but it's maybe for a weekend they can try it. I don't know. Nothing brings the pack together like a trip to Great Wolf Lodge. Visit us in Maryland and the Poconos. This is what a big cost, and not that much. Just administrative cost. Putting a booth. I don't think it's that expensive to put a couple booths on a few highways that go in and out of the state. They would check the trunk of every car that came by. They just stop and say, howdy, what's your business in Arizona? Where you headed? And then I'm just driving through. And then, okay, have a nice day. I see your ID kind of thing. Got an ID. So if you don't have an ID, you won't be able to go across the border. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying that's where we head. That's where we go. If we're getting to the point where, look, we've already talked about how in some of these blue states, there's child sex change sanctuaries. There's already the fear. This is what I'm worried about. Some kid on TikTok sees all these videos, finds a book like this, calls the number, meets a stranger on the internet who says, I'll drive you to Washington and get you your treatment, effectively kidnapping the kid, bring him to Washington, and Washington says it's legal. Now what happens if you're in Montana or Wyoming? Wyoming is the #1 Trump-supporting state in the country. What happens if you're from Wyoming and someone takes your kid and brings him to Washington? Now you've got a very, very serious border dispute. Because Washington said, oh, that guy who kidnapped your kid, he was doing your kid a favor. And then you say, I want my kid returned to me. And they say, no, because you're the criminal. The federal government doesn't intervene. What happens? You are going to get Wyoming being like, we're going to set up checkpoints to make sure people aren't kidnapping children to bring them to Washington for lewd and lascivious reasons. Yeah, you just got to have the feds. The feds are supposed to. They're not going to do it. That's the only way to prevent these states from going rogue is to have federal enforcement and oversight. You need to protect. Then you're talking about stronger federal law enforcement, and we don't have that. And if anything, the feds will protect Washington and the kidnapper. That's so messed up. Yeah, even under Trump. Trump made the mistake of thinking that these people would operate any differently. What do you mean, who are these people? The FBI. Trump literally thought, that dude made so many mistakes in trusting these people over and over and over again. It was like he's on autopilot. I think he just actually had faith in the system. I think Trump thought it was busted, but he could fix it, and he saw the general good in the United States. I think now it's the opposite. Now he's like, these people are corrupt. But this is my point. When we're looking at Rick Scott jokingly say socialists and communists don't come. And then the left actually gets mad because they actually are socialists and communists. We're into a dark place.
How would you guys define socialist? What would make somebody a socialist?
Fucking dollar.
Public ownership of the means of production.
Yeah, so yeah, communism is like worker ownership over the means of production, and then how socialism is different from communism changes based on who you're talking to. Some say that like I think as a general rule, when you look at how they've operated in the world, communism usually happens because of like some revolution or state takeover, and socialism is usually voted in, but that's not actually definitive.
Well, some say socialism is economic and communism is political.
Yeah, well, people say communism encompasses everything, right? So even your culture becomes modified by it, where socialism just refers to econ. But there are a bunch of different ways people define it, and I've heard it defined even by official sources multiple different ways.
So every communist state is socialism, but every socialist state is not necessarily communist.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Would that be like state ownership is communist, but if it's just a state?
Communism is typically characterized by a single party controlling everything in like an authoritarian, autocratic mean. Gulag people, disparate people.
Socialism is the people and everything.
Socialism can actually... Socialism is interesting because there's like a threshold for it, right?
That's good
If
shit
you're
right
looking
there.
at a spectrum, you could argue America's a capitalist country, right? Yeah, except half of our money is taxed and goes to the public. So actually, the United States is not a capitalist country; it's a mixed economy. At a certain point, you can call it socialist or capitalist. What's that line? Up to you. Maybe 70%. If 70% of your income is kept by you and 30% goes to the public, that's the threshold for being a capitalist country. Anything from 70 up to 100 of the money you keep is capitalist, and then anything in between is mixed, and then 70% taxation and higher is socialist. To be fair, it's not just about government taxation.
Yeah.
Socialism is basically like the workers own the factory. Communism is like everyone owns everything, but there's actually military control and they'll execute you if you disagree. But it can be a bit vague. The simple thing is, socialism is basic economics. The further you go towards the public owning everything, is the further you go towards socialism. The further you go towards private ownership, the further you go towards capitalism. And capitalism is better.
Yeah.
One question.
Yeah, I think also like just in terms of how the word is usually understood, communism has much more baggage associated with it on the cultural question, which I think is part of why people associate it with a complete cultural takeover, because that's also what you saw in communist states like the USSR or communist China. And so people will almost view socialism as just sort of a moderate form of communism, but that's not really an accurate way of looking at it either.
We have a lot of people pointing out there already are border checkpoints. Some saying when you generally stop at state borders to pay tolls already. So those can easily be modified to stop and check your ID. Other people mention that there are way stations and agricultural checkpoints already between states. I'm saying it becomes like country to country effectively. Arizona's dealing with a mass influx of illegal immigrants. Texas is as well. At a certain point, they might just be like, we have to control our borders.
That would be like if someone, because there'll be vans and trucks, and you need to stop the van, come around out back, open the van, put fruit and stuff.
Dog walks around the truck. Yep, absolutely.
That's a lot of labor.
It sure is, and I'm saying
It's a bad thing though.
whether you think it's good or bad is not the point. What matters is if we are segregating to this degree, it will happen. When COVID happened, they had checkpoints. I think Connecticut had checkpoints because they didn't want New Yorkers fleeing because of the lockdowns into Connecticut for safe haven. So they were like checking license plates and stuff like that. They're crazy.
And who would have ever thought that would have happened before COVID, right?
Yeah.
To your point.
Now it's like, Europe used to have checkpoints between the countries, and then you get the European Union, the Schengen zone. But I think the U.S. actually headed in that direction, because you're gonna have, I think Wyoming and Washington are a really good example. I think you got Idaho in between, but so maybe it'll be Idaho actually. Idaho's a pretty conservative spot, and they're gonna get issues. Wyoming's gonna be like, why are you allowing these people to take our kids through your state? And they're gonna say okay, and Wyoming's gonna be like, we expect you to cooperate with us on law enforcement. So Idaho's gonna be like, we got this corridor that goes to Montana to Washington, whatever. We're gonna send checkpoints. It's, I think, what is it? One highway? There's probably some smaller ones, but I think it's one highway.
North, yeah, it's one highway.
I'm actually fearful of how the federal government might try to crack down on that. I could just see if you have a regime that's as far to the left as the one that's in power now is, and that wants to push for this mutilation of children. I could imagine them saying, no, you can't you can't tell someone they're not able to pass through your state in order to get their quote-unquote gender-affirming care.
To be fair, there's one federal highway, one big, it's I-90.
Right, one interstate.
But then there are a bunch of smaller roads.
Smaller state highways, yes.
But to be completely honest, I can count them.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
I can go all the way. What are we looking at?
Up north, you mean?
So if I'm looking at just out of Washington, you can man, it's really
Yeah, it's rugged up there.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And in wintertime, a lot of those
10.
will be... Yeah.
10 roads.
Yeah.
So if you got to the point where Washington, there actually was an issue of kids being trafficked into Washington for child sex changes, and states like Idaho were like, no way. I mean, actually, let's use Idaho as an example. Relatively conservative place. They don't want their kids being brought there. So what? All they need is 10 checkpoints? 10. No, that's 20 guys. 20 guys on rotation working a border.
Yeah, and like I said, in the wintertime, a lot of those places aren't even... You can't navigate them. They're like covered in snow. There's no way through them.
It's mostly just going to be 1 or 2 roads.
They might exit to another state. You'd have to have your entire border blocked off or covered.
I don't have to
Ian,
do that.
yes,
It's
no,
rugged, dude.
no, Ian, it's 10 roads.
Going
the
west?
whole border.
Right.
You're just talking about the western border?
Going east, yes. If you're in Washington, it is 10 roads out of Washington. You have to go south.
Oh, they said Idaho. Okay.
Into Idaho. So Washington into Idaho, there are 10 roads. There's probably many smaller ones, but there are 10 main roads, 1 main interstate highway, and then I think a couple state highways. And I counted on the map, zooming in, even to the small ones, it looks like it's about 10. So I'm not saying I know for a fact it will happen. I'm saying if this is the path we head down, abortion is also a big issue. What happens if, I've talked about it before, you got a man and a woman, they're together, they're maybe married. They get pregnant, start fighting. Woman says, I need to leave this guy, for whatever reason. And he says, I forbid you from getting an abortion. And she's, you can't. Idaho doesn't allow it, so then she goes to Washington, and he goes to the state and says, she's kidnapped my child. A better example is states that have completely banned it. I think like Oklahoma banned it outright. Is it Oklahoma? Who banned it outright? Texas banned it out. Are you sure?
Let me double check on that.
Yeah,
Well,
Seamus.
after heartbeat.
No. There's been. I
I
think Oklahoma was a total ban.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been Oklahoma had the total ban.
It looks like there are, the New York Times actually has a tracker for which states have done a complete outright ban. So a full ban in effect versus 6-week ban. It does look like, you said Idaho? Or did you say?
No. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yes, Oklahoma does have a full-on ban.
Full on ban.
That's also if we're going to go with the...
And then Colorado, right? So let's say someone, there's a couple in Oklahoma. Something happens and the woman says, you know what? I just don't want to have this baby because it'll keep me locked with this guy. Colorado is, it's right on the. This is crazy. They share a border. Colorado, let's see, is what road do we got here? 385, Campo to Boise City. So you can have a woman who's in Oklahoma drive 100 miles, cross the border into Colorado where there's no restriction at all. What happens when that father says, my unborn son has been kidnapped and is going to be executed? What does Oklahoma do to prevent that from happening? Nothing. The federal government won't do anything either. You're going to have border checkpoints. And Oklahoma's going to be like, ma'am, why are you leaving? Why are you going to Colorado? There's going to be serious, just outright. And even the left agrees on this one, because the left has talked about this, that they're going to be trying to stop women from fleeing to get abortions in states where it's illegal.
Yep. I think that when I brought up, you need border, if you're going to do that, you need like border protection on the entire state of Oklahoma, because although it does share a border with Colorado in one spot, people could go through like New Mexico, go west, and then go north, or they could go south and then west and north to avoid that border checkpoint.
And they can get on a plane.
They could go to Kansas and then west into Colorado, so you would need a robust
No, you wouldn't.
border patrol system.
You are incorrect.
I mean, if you're trying to prevent people from leaving the state, that is not the way to go.
They're going to try and prevent specifically the trafficking for the purpose of abortion.
But how would you would have to get her to say she's doing it at the border crossing too, and why would she just be like, no, I'm just going on a vacation?
Ian, I think you misunderstand. That's irrelevant. You will get enough people in Oklahoma who will be like, we demand a checkpoint.
Well, but do you want to do facial recognition, eye
Simpsons.
scanning, and like DNA
You
testing too?
misunderstand.
Like, what do you want to do?
Ian, you completely misunderstand. Simpsons Bear Patrol. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
A bear one day wanders through Springfield, so they all panic and demand a bear patrol and get it. It doesn't matter what you think they need to do. Need is immaterial. If enough people say, you know, I had a girlfriend, she got pregnant, and then she crossed the border to get an abortion, and now my son is dead, was killed, my daughter was killed, they will just vote, and the state will do it. And sure, you could argue it's ineffective. That's not the point. The point is people will say it, and it will have to happen. You cannot have two states side by side where one has totally banned abortion and one has totally unrestricted abortion. It is very obvious what will happen. Oklahoma will say to these women, it is illegal to get an abortion. The women will then be like, I'm going to Colorado, and they'll say, we're setting up a checkpoint at the border to Colorado.
And then we're gonna arrest you? I mean, what's the...
Yes! It's
for
illegal.
What? Arrest her for what?
It's illegal. They totally ban.
What's illegal? Crossing the border?
Okay, Ian, you don't get it.
I 100% get it. She has not gotten an abortion at this stage of illegality you're claiming.
Okay.
So what's illegal?
So when there is a prosecution, okay? Donald Trump, let's use Trump as an example. Did Trump break the law with classified documents? Yes or no? No? Hillary Clinton had classified documents. She wasn't prosecuted. Joe Biden has classified documents. He wasn't prosecuted. Donald Trump has classified documents. He does get prosecuted. So what's the crime? It doesn't matter. A state prosecutor will find something on the books. Show me the man, show me the crime. My point is, if Oklahoma says it is illegal and a woman traffics an unborn baby for the purpose of terminating its life, they will say, they will treat it as if it's murder, period.
Yeah, but
they'll say...
This is unknown. That's the point that I'm making.
They argue this in court. This is the purpose of an indictment and a criminal trial. So you can't make the argument that you drove the car at a high speed, crashed into a person and they died, and say, well, I mean, you can certainly make the argument. They'll be like, we don't know exactly why they did it. Yep, you did. Okay, you did. The woman will come back from Colorado, having gotten an abortion, and they'll say, now we know exactly why.
If she goes back to the state, yeah, she's probably
right,
going to
so she'll have to flee outright.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you,
But
the
arresting
point
her
is
on
this.
the border, I don't know about that.
You cannot have these two states coexisting this way.
Yeah.
The left made this argument that states will start setting up like police forces because it's illegal. Not even an original opinion from me. I'm like, I agree with what they're saying.
It feels like a dumb, heavy-handed thing to say. We'll just put cops there and then it will stop. Like,
no one believes that.
How deep do you want to go?
No one believes that, Ian. No one believes that we'll just stop because they put cops there. They're saying we want cops to try and do something because the only thing people ever say is do something. So they'll do something, and that's what you get.
It could be worse than doing nothing.
Hey, absolutely. But I think most people would argue it's not worse than doing nothing. Because
without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your industry, Grainger's here for you with professional-grade supplies. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Because you'll get a lot of people in Oklahoma who are like, we need to go get an abortion, and the cops are going to be at the border, and they're going to be like, I can't do this, turn around.
Or there'll be like, people will be like, we suspect she may get an abortion. We have an anonymous tip. Let's tap her phone lines.
You're right.
That's dirty, dude.
You are right. Now I don't know. I don't think Oklahoma criminalizes the woman though. They criminalize the practice. So I think the doctor's the one who gets in trouble. But what you need to understand is, I am not talking about the world is not a machine that, like, human civilization is not a machine that functions on logic. I love this idea when it comes to business contracts. I hear all the time from people who don't know how to run businesses, and they seem to think, I can't remember what movie I was watching. It was like someone had a contract with a company, and then their whole company got seized or something happened, and they were like, this is absurd. How could our company be taken over this way? And then they went to the court, and the judge was like, sorry, it's right here in the contract. And they're like, no. And I'm like, courts don't work that way. Like, you can come to an agreement with someone, and a judge can nullify it. Judges are human beings. They can be like, this is ridiculous. People seem to think that contract law and legality is like, I'm sorry, sir, it says right here. There are judges who literally have imprisoned children for cash, regardless of what the law says. We know human judges basically can do what they want to do. They can hold you in contempt and lock you up and just end your life, basically. And then you can beg. They can do these things. There are judges. Look, Trump is the perfect example. Let's jump to the Trump story. Let's talk about Donald Trump. This is a perfect segue. Here's the story from Fox News. Trump reacts after leaked recording shows him discussing classified documents. Former president tells Fox News Digital he did nothing wrong in secret document case. I have the audio here. Let's play it.
That was your coup, against you. Well, it started right at like when Billy's talking about, you were going to try to they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in. That's right, trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Billy, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I'm a big pile of because this thing just came out. Look. This was it. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department. I looked at something. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. This page is long. Let's see. I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case. Except it is like highly confidential secret. This is secret information. Look at this. Your back. And
Hillary would print that out all the time. Private email.
She'd send it to Anthony Weiner. By the way, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I was just thinking as we were talking about it. And he said he wanted to attack Iran and what? He said this was done by the military. Give it to me. I think we can probably
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll try to
declassify.
figure out
As president, I could have declassified. Now I can't. But this is
they found out we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting? It's so cool. It's so. We heard I. And you probably almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me.
No, I believe
It's incredible.
So there you go. That's basically it. And here's why I brought this up. For one, it is a big story. But my point is this: Hillary Clinton had top secret information on her private servers. She had her phone smashed with hammers, and she used an open source purging software to destroy all of those public records. Comey said no reasonable prosecutor would bring these charges. Joe Biden had classified documents in multiple locations. Maybe they'll bring charges against him. Doesn't seem likely. But Hillary is the really obvious one. Before an election, Comey said, no, we're not going to do that. That's ridiculous. And she wasn't even the president. Donald Trump has classified documents, and they say, give him 10 years. The View is screaming, lock him up 10 years. This is the point about anything pertaining to legality or law. It doesn't matter what you think is right and what should be done. What matters is people with power wield it. The left certainly understands that. The right has this problem of being like, but is it allowed? And the left is just like, do it anyway. And that's where we're at. The Biden DOJ going after Trump on charges that the Obama DOJ would not bring against Hillary.
Yeah, well, I kind of want. Can I ask you a few questions about this? Just as a lawyer.
Absolutely.
So when Trump says I could have declassified them or should have declassified them, is that an admission that he didn't declassify them properly, and is that going to be held against him?
Well, look, I think that one of the things that we're all missing is the context of these papers that you can hear in the background. What is it that he's actually looking at, and what is he actually flipping through? Right? I mean, it's is he flipping through some kind of a description? Is he flipping through some kind of a picture? I mean, we don't know what was actually in front of them. But I think one of the things that matters here is which was Donald Trump was the president of the United States. Hillary Clinton was only the Secretary of State. Joe Biden, the records that he's talking about are records he got as vice president or previously as a senator, right? And so classified documents are controlled by the President of the United States. Documents are only classified, secret, top secret, confidential, because of an executive order from the President of the United States. Information authority derives from the President. One limited exception set by Congress about atomic energy related documents. And so you have this whole kind of, that's one angle, and a lot of people have been talking about that, but one of the things that I think is an interesting thought that I hope folks start to think through is you have all this discussion right now about, oh my goodness, President Trump violated the Presidential Records Act, and those weren't his documents, and he couldn't have those documents. Those are the people's documents. And I'm sorry, for me, coming from a first principles standpoint, under the Constitution, the Congress of the United States has no authority to tell the President of the United States which papers are his and which papers aren't, right? And that is ultimately, under the Constitution, the President of the United States has to have that power to decide which documents are his. And so if he has that power, then how can he, and then he takes those documents with him, which is the standard practice of presidents for almost 200 years. George Washington took his papers with him after he left office. It was actually the subject of a court case later on down the line. He deeded them to his nephew. So how is it now that we fast forward and Congress passes this presidential act in 1978, Jimmy Carter signs into law and says, oh, wait, these are all the people's records, and the president no longer has, kind of an ultimate say-so. The president possesses the documents from the first instance and has that absolute authority to do so. Then how can he be executed under the Espionage Act for unlawful possession of these documents? It's insane. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
But not only that, first, we're gonna find out in a week or so.
Jesus Lord, where the fuck is that goddamn fucking thing?
Trump goes, I mean, these aren't actually documents. These are just.
Just never find whatever we need ever, every fucking time.
All the time. But then let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. First, what does this audio prove, if anything? Donald Trump is an idiot? Maybe. Is that it? Is it criminal? It's
just not there. Nowhere to be found is my shit. Every damn day, I swear to fucking God, dude. Like, every fucking thing. Jesus Lord.
This room? Papers were in a different place the whole time. You can't see anything, you can't hear anything. Someone saying something about, look at these papers, they're secret, doesn't prove he actually had secret papers and showed them to anybody. Right. So it's
oh my God, I hate it.
It is bad for Trump, don't get me wrong, but they're acting like it's this big bombshell. And my thing is, you know what I think? I think Trump was just speaking off the cuff and being a braggart. And then when it actually came down to the legal matter, he said, look, I'm the president, they're classified because I say so. And that's his argument now. I don't think this tape does anything. All that's going to happen is if you're on the left, you're going to think it's a bombshell. If you're on the right, you're going to say it's stupid. And I'm going to tell you this. If the left says Trump must get 10 years for this, actually they do. Let me pull up the little article here we got from me. Lock him up already. The View gets wild as host suggests Trump selling docs, predict he gets 10 years in prison. Okay? All right, I'm down. Yeah. Hillary's next in line. Let's get it. And now, of course, we can get Obama on that killing a 16-year-old American citizen. Bring them all. Bring them all. Let's lock them all up. So Joe Biden next.
He was selling documents?
I mean, it's just, these people are insane. Oh. But the point is, the reason why this tape doesn't matter is because we know Hillary Clinton had top secret information. We know that she had no authority to have it. We know that she had phones with records on them destroyed with hammers. We know that she had the server purged with a leech bit. And Comey said no reasonable prosecutor would bring charges on this. So then, am I supposed to think it's reasonable for Trump to be charged? No, of course not.
Well, I'm curious, again, as a lawyer, what do you think this does in a court of law? Like, this kind of evidence?
I mean, it really depends on what gets admitted. There's all kinds of tests for what gets admitted and what gets heard and what the jury can see, assuming it goes to a jury. But again, Tim's exactly right. His lawyers go in and they start punching holes in this. Well, how do you know? What documents was he talking about? Do we have witnesses who can call and take the stand and they'll testify, oh yeah, it was this precise document that was marked top secret, no foreign, your eyes only document, and he was showing us all of these precise battle plans. Now, I mean, I very highly doubt it, and Tim's exactly right. Every time we see one of these things play out, which is I think what most Americans recognize now, is that every time we see one of these allegations, whether it's 3 days or 3 years down the line, there's more to the story. And the left just keeps coming at him and coming at him and coming at him with everything that they have. And it's always, this is the last straw. This is the death knell for Donald Trump.
The walls are closing in.
The walls are closing in. And every time there's more to it. And I think that the left is destroying its own credibility the more that they do this, because the average Americans sitting at home, Kansas, Georgia, Nevada, wherever, they see this and they say, why do they keep going after this guy? This doesn't make sense. Like, they just keep coming after him. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't make any sense to them.
I do want to give a special shout out to Donald Trump for trusting the corporate press all the time. He just loves allowing these people to come in all the time and just let him record him and all this stuff. He keeps giving him interviews. It's wonderful, isn't it?
I don't get. That's the part of it that I don't get. I never
but
got.
To go back to the initial segue to this. This is my point. when we were talking about the borders and Oklahoma banning abortion, Colorado allowing it, it doesn't matter what you think the law is. We talked about this the other day. Cohabitation in West Virginia is illegal. Are they going to bring charges against you? Only if they want to search your residence. Show me the man, I'll show you the crime. So let's say you're in West Virginia and you're an activist and the state's like, this person's causing us problems. Can we find a crime that'll give us justification for searching their residence? They're cohabitating. That's illegal. Boom, we got it.
I still want to look up that law. I haven't been able to find it.
So like cohabitation isn't living with someone of the opposite sex you're not married with or in a relationship with?
For like, I couldn't find the law. Yeah, I agree. It's not about doing what's right, but the reason I was concerned with the whole setting up border checkpoints thing is because I'm looking ahead at what problems that could arise from a social movement to install border patrol, whether or not it's legal, whether or not it's righteous, that it could end up causing more unnecessary spying on the people themselves that, unexpectedly, they didn't realize what they had unleashed on themselves by creating some sort of patrol office around them. You try to be pulling up that law.
Yeah, it's, this is weird.
So, yeah, how long is this?
Lewd and lascivious cohabitation when persons presumed to be unmarried is the law, 6184. But it does say whether married or not afterwards.
Interesting. Oh, so like you're doing lewd and lascivious things even within the context of marriage. They're basically saying you're being a freak.
Right.
Get out of my bedroom.
Yeah. Okay, so to be specific, it's not about just cohabitation. It's about fornication. It says in prosecutions for adultery and fornication, lewd and lasciviously cohabiting together, the persons named in the indictment shall be presumed to be unmarried persons, unless proof to the contrary. So I'm assuming that the laws.
Fornication means unmarried sexual intercourse. That's the first time I never put that together.
I think with this thing, I could be wrong, but I was talking to someone about it recently, and they were like, yeah, what are they called? They're called blue laws or whatever. They're archaic laws, nobody enforces
No, they don't enforce them.
But this is like if you're making a noise violation with your lady and you're not married, it might be like, yo, stop. And if you don't stop and you don't stop and you don't stop, they're like, hey.
Okay, I get it now. If any persons not married to each other lewdly and lasciviously associate or cohabitate together, they shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and upon conviction be fined not less than $50. Yeah, like, to clarify, if you are not married and you be hooking up, it's illegal.
And it's like, I think that's particularly if you're hooking up in public. Like they can,
it's in your house.
If people can sense that you're doing it inside, like they walk by, they hear the noise, they see it in a window. Because lewdness, they wouldn't know unless they were there.
It actually clarifies, or whether married or not, be guilty of open gross lewdness. That's a separate clause. So what I read was specifically saying, if you are not married and you are lewdly associating and cohabitating, then you will be guilty of a misdemeanor. If you are married or not, and be guilty of open or gross lewdness and lasciviousness, you will be guilty of a misdemeanor. So, anyway, that's my point.
Yeah, they don't prosecute that stuff anymore. But I'm actually, if they tried to today, though, if they were going after somebody they didn't like, and this was the justification, it would almost certainly be struck down. No court would convict somebody.
There's an issue there.
Lewd is such a vague term also.
But all laws use terms you struggle to define, and then a judge interprets it.
That's crazy. Wicked, it means wicked.
So let me explain, Ian. A woman is, in Oklahoma, abortion is totally banned. Right? It's a total ban, right? Ian, I mean,
yes. If there is, so the places, exactly. Oklahoma does have a total ban.
Now what we'll need is a judge's interpretation of what then would you call taking a pregnant woman, carrying a child that the state deems to be a child across state lines without permission of the other parent. Would that be kidnapping?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if this continues in this way, you will get to the point where the interpretation of the state in Oklahoma is that a child carried to another state to be put to death is irrelevant whether it's in the womb or out of the womb. If a woman carried a physical child across state lines to bring it to a place to have it killed, they would view it identically to a woman with the baby in the womb doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about the law. I want to look into it, but I'm not sure if the laws that are banning it are also defining it as homicide. I wonder if some states ban it without characterizing it as homicide.
That's why I'm saying a judge will have to interpret it.
Yeah.
Because if this is inevitable. Not that a judge will say it's homicide, but that the interpretation will have to be handed down by a judge. You will get a circumstance in Oklahoma, and it's probably already happened, where a woman gets pregnant, goes to Colorado, gets an abortion. There will be a lawsuit or some challenge if/when she returns, and you will have some, you will have the father or some family member being like, that was illegal, and then filing some kind of claim and demanding criminal charges for it. It's an illegal act to terminate the pregnancy. She went and did it in another state. What will the judges say about that? It'll have to be interpreted by somebody.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma, based on this trajectory, will lean towards it is child trafficking and murder.
That's why child trafficking is interesting, because if a woman's 8 months pregnant and she's like, hey, I'm going to see my mom in another state, and the dad's like, no, you're not, not this week. She's like, yeah, I am. I have the tickets already. And he's like, no, you're not going anywhere. She's like, I'm leaving, and she leaves, and he's like, she's trafficking a child. The dad goes to the court.
Absolutely.
Yep. No, that woman has every right to go to her mom's house across state lines, in my opinion.
And then,
with an 8-month-old in womb.
And then two things happen. One, yes, there will be circumstances where women will be unjustly halted from living their lives. The second, there will be women who will lie about traveling to visit their parents in order to terminate the life of the child.
Yeah, I mean, also, if you're pregnant, if you just have a child in general, I think it would be very strange for you to go somewhere without your spouse wanting you to go there. I'm sure you have, like, some abusive relationships where the husband is a maniac and the woman has a reason to leave, but that's totally different.
I think we're headed towards, as the states fracture.
Well, don't say, is this the word I have to say?
Yeah.
The phrase I have to say?
I think so.
I wasn't going to say it. You're jumping the gun.
Okay.
I was going to say something dark, because it starts with the political polarization of people into certain states. Then the championing of federalization, like states being sovereign, but then you have to contend with the fact that if Colorado and Oklahoma are distinct entities with extremely different laws, you will need border checkpoints. This is the fracturing of the United States. The point where Oklahoma will have to have a border checkpoint with Colorado.
Yeah, it's also very it's very interesting, because I wonder in 20 years where all of these states are going to be. We've seen states change from red to blue over time, and it's possible. Look, the entire country, in many ways, especially on social issues, has moved significantly further to the left. In terms of legislation, I would say in some states, abortion and in general, gun control are kind of the two issues where we've moved to the right as a country. But for the most part, the trajectory has always been to the left. I'm curious to see if there's going to be a backlash, and some of these places that are blue might start to turn red. That's also, again, not me saying that's going to happen. I think that could be wishful thinking, but
on the point of immigration, to add to what you were saying, Ian, they already do have random stops in states. When I first went to California, I entered through San Diego from the
Tijuana.
No. From Arizona into California to San Diego, and I was on a bus from San Diego to LA, and we got randomly stopped by immigration, and they boarded the bus, and they demanded everyone pull out their IDs, and I pull out my ID, and they go bang and back, and they came up to me, and the guy looks at my ID and he goes, "What's your favorite baseball team?" And I was like, "I don't like baseball." He's like, "You got a favorite baseball team?" And I was like, "Well, I'm from Chicago. I could say the Sox, I guess, but I don't really watch baseball." And he goes, "You're fine." Hands me the ID back. The reason he asked that is he wanted a fast question that you'd have to be able to answer really, really quickly, because if you were an illegal immigrant, you wouldn't have a canned response to it. So they already do stuff like this. If Arizona is worried about the southern border crisis, if Kari Lake got elected governor, she would have to answer the question of the illegal immigrants coming from California, not just Mexico.
Mm-hmm. I saw a video from Jorge Ventura on the border, and there was like immigrants are coming up, but they couldn't get across. They're stuck at some wall or something. They've been there for 3 days just camping on the border, waiting to get across. Dude, what is the solution to this border? I mean, I don't even want to say it online, man. I just have such horrible visions of what could happen if we don't stem the tide.
We have to. I mean, in really, it's not overstating things, but the Trump happening was these policies like Remain in Mexico, where you had to say, hey, look, we caught you in Mexico. If you have a court claim you want to make, you're going to make it for Mexico. We're going to let you in for your court date, but other than that, you wait there. That dried everything up because people realize you don't actually get your end goal. What this administration was doing is, you know, they were letting in all kinds of folks. All kinds of folks were coming in because they were just catching and releasing everybody. But now what they've done is they've done a paradigm shift where they're directing people towards venture.
Fucking retarded, dude. Every fucking thing. Oh my god, I want to punch someone. How is this shit missing? Okay. Those keys, good. These keys, good. Fucking those keys. Where the fuck are those keys? You son of a bitch. Like, every fucking thing I deal with, I swear to fucking God, just shut the fuck up with the bullshit. God, just every day. Oh, fuck. So annoying. Buttress you. What a loser. I hate that bitch. She's such a fucking nigger. It's never normal. It's always a thing. You don't know how to talk? Gonna fucking sit here, try to bullshit me? Really?
It took my emotions on a roller coaster for fucking days. Yeah. When somebody tries to fuck with your emotions like that, I call them, yo, tell your mama to cry.
No one cares, bitch. Shut up.
Whether it's fake or not, I don't appreciate being taken on an emotional roller coaster against my will. That's what I'm talking about.
Emotional roller coaster against my will. I'm here to be a boring bitch. And just like be fat as fuck and get high. Oh no, I'm happy. I just want happiness all the time. Or else.
That's what the stupidest part was.
Fucking loser ass bitch, dude.
People should go to the bottom of the ocean and retrieve this fucking thing. It's dangerous for them. Like, you're gonna send a rescue team now, risking their lives? Rance, what the hell are you playing? Like, it's freaking me out. Can you look what Rance is playing.
Oh my nigger god, you fucking nigger fucking fag motherfuck!
It's not winning it. Hey man, you need more traction for your wheels.
Rock on, broke bitch. Oh shit. Nigger! Here we go. Fucking goose chase. Oh my god. Fucking retarded bullshit every 2 seconds. Let's go looking for shit that I don't really feel like looking for. Yay! Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, how many fucking times is this going to be a thing? Whatever. Bitch. Retard checks. Wow, bro. Oh my god, fucking nigger move of the year, bro. Oh Oh my god, you fucking garbage. Fucking piece of garbage, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Nigger! Nigger! The other right. It's never normal. It's gotta fling off, right? You fucking faggot ass fucking thing. You fucking piece of garbage. Can't just not fucking be a piece of garbage. It's gotta be a thing, right? Fucking ass wipe. Very fucking true. Wow, you fucking cocksucker, man. Give me my dab, bitch. Oh man, that was good. Shit. Oh. Lord. Christ. Let's see how fucking soon this guy rides up my ass and if he actually stops. That's what that was. Doesn't care. Pretty damn good. That's what I'm saying. Space is open. What is this shit? Why is my fucking steering wheel doing that? It should not be doing that at all. Things like constantly, hey, you're gonna fucking go turn that way for fucking 3 hours.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake your ass up!
asshole.
Let's block the whole fucking road with my stupid fucking truck. Fucking Nick, move. Really, dude? You can't just fucking load?